Hello everyone, welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla, and we are going to build the interior of DV Radio today, which I'm quite excited about. The first thing I'm going to do though, seeing as I have these birch leaves with me, is get rid of this. I came in off camera, added some spruce leaves to the side of the building here, and I didn't really like it. I just want the leaves to be uniform the whole way around. Did I add any more around the back here? I think I might have added one. Yeah, over here. I'm just going to get rid of that one as well. And it's given me 2 saplings, so that's always good. I will fill in the other ones around the other side in a minute, because I think I placed them wrong before to hide that bit of glowstone I was talking about. Was I talking about that? Can't really remember. It's been a few days since I recorded part 1 of this build, so we will crack on and do part 2 today. Now, it's going to be kind of unorthodox, kind of a little bit weird, the way I put this together, because the first thing I'm going to do inside is the ceiling. The main reason for that is that I want to get the lighting together, because it's going to make the rest of the build, which involves doing a lot on the floor, a lot easier once I have these torches and stuff out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's pretty much spruce wood planks the whole way across, apart from a section at the back here, which is a kind of 3x3, where did I put those? A 3x3 of nether brick slabs. I think it's 3 at least, because this area here is a kind of 5x5, and there's another 5x5 on the opposite side, and those are the 2 recording booths. I put 2 in because on the radio you always hear DJs taking over from each other. Sometimes on like stuff like BBC radio they will do a kind of transition where one of them kind of hands over to the other, or they chat a little bit before the official handover happens and the new DJ starts their slot. So I figured it would probably be the most realistic, I guess, if there were 2 individual recording booths. Now I'm going to have to mark this out here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's there. And I put that 1 too far out, so that can go there. 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And already it's getting dark, so let's light it up on the wall for now. Do the same thing on the other side, like that, and that's actually a gap that's meant to be there, so I will leave that there for now. This one needs to go, and that's that pretty much sorted. We'll leave the torches where they are for now, but you'll see if you come in here, that's pretty much covering the roof, and then we can work on the detail around the outside in a minute. So it is nighttime here in Spawn. Clandlewood's been on and off right now. I don't know if he's coming back or not, but we can continue with this without him. That's not a problem. I will put in some of the lighting now, and I need these trapdoors because I pretty much wanted the lighting to be somewhat concealed inside, like it's noticeable, like that glowstone block isn't changing. I'm pretty sure I just kept that there when I built this in creative, but with these guys I kind of want there to be a trapdoor over the bottom of them like that, so they're a little bit more discreet. There are going to be a couple of glowstone blocks around here. In fact, I think I put one here like that in my original build, so we will leave it that way, and it's going to attach trapdoor to the inside stairs when we get those put in, which we may as well do this now. I'm doing this kind of in a haphazard way like I did this last time. I'm just doing stuff as it occurs to me, but that's kind of the way I work for now until I get a little bit more organized with my build style. That's that's being tricksy right now. How about there? Good. Seems to be working in our favor. Let's hope it continues that way. In fact, I think I've done these a little bit too high, because as far as I know, there's only a 1 block thick wall of glass around the outside. So yeah, I've actually done that too high. Not to worry, we can put these in here for the moment, like so. And the recording booth bit is going to be back here, but we'll deal with that in a moment. I think it actually went like that, like so. And around here. That's looking better. Great. Okay, and we'll do the same on the other side, and I need to make a few changes to the floor, so once we get the lighting in, we can sort those out. Can I place it up there like that? I can. Oh, good. And of course, I'm doing it completely wrong, like I did last time. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I've really not done anything, so I don't know why I'm complaining about it having been a long day, but even time off has its little stresses, which I won't bore you with. Right, there we go. Oh, that's not quite in the right place. This is clearly going to be an irritation. You are a menace. Like that. Good. Okay. And the lighting in here is going to be provided by a glowstone block up here with a trapdoor over it, like before. To get the trapdoor in, we will have to bring in some of the other blocks, but let's deal with that in a moment. Going to try and do these. Oh, this is my new pickaxe. It's called Fazakali. I ran out of durability on the Pixlriffs pickaxe, and then that refused to be repaired. So I started a new pickaxe, and it's got Silk Touch on it. And I tried enchanting another pickaxe. That one also had Silk Touch on it. So I figured I'm pretty much meant to have Silk Touch for my latest working pick. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for now, because I've been doing a lot of work clearing stone, and it's so much nicer to have Silk Touch and have the stone ready to be converted into stone brick instead of having to smelt it all from cobblestone. Opinions will vary on that, but that's how I feel about it right now. I think we've got the stairs pretty much done, so I can pop those away for now. I'm going to bring these redstone lamps in, although we're not going to do a great deal with those yet. And I need to bring the redstone torches in. How about some grey wool as well? Let's grab those. Cool. I do love the fact that it's got that ding noise every time you come in. I'm pretty pleased with that one. We can pop these redstone lamps in here, and we may as well turn them on for the moment, just so they're providing a little bit of that extra light that we want. In there. Cool. In the actual build, in fact, I have glowstone blocks here and here with trapdoors over them like that and like that. So basically these lamps here are meant to be the on-air lights for the booths, which is obviously something that you don't really need on a server, but it's part of the detail of the build, so I figured I would probably have to put that in at some point. Yeah, going back to what I was saying in the previous video about being a builder, I've discovered that I really, really like detail-oriented builds. If you've seen me build the stuff I put into the fire station, that's probably giving you an indication of the kind of level of detail I like, and this is going to be even more detailed than that, really. Logan was exploring the fire station in one of his more recent videos, or at least recent at the time this video goes out. And he said that he really liked the level of detail in the fire station. He said he thought it kind of was not too busy, which I took as a real compliment, because I try and make something like appropriate level of detail, I guess you could call it. I really don't want things to look too cluttered, but I do want them to look like there's some stuff going on. I realised that I don't need to put those note blocks in the corner there, and I don't know why I've done that. There is going to be a jukebox here, and I'll explain why in a minute. Why is there a baby zombie? That's a worry. Is that going to be up in the ceiling? I really hope that's not up in the ceiling. I can't see him if he is. There really shouldn't be anything spawning around here. That's troubling. But yeah, I need the I only brought enough note blocks to completely pad out these walls without anything extra going on. So maybe we'll fill that in with dirt just so stuff doesn't spawn in there. That's probably the best plan. Having just heard a baby zombie, I don't think we want any more of those around in spawn. So let's take that off the wall. I think we should get enough lighting from the glowstone, so that'll be fine. and I'll rush back in with that jukebox in a second. Let's do the same over here with the dirt. Where'd that go? There it is. Okie doke. I think we're good for now. I can hear his tiny pitter-patter feet. Where are you, sir? I will deal with you a swift blow of death. Dealt with. Okay, cool. And the sun is rising, so hopefully we shouldn't see any more of that. I wonder where he came in from, though. There are a couple of gaps in the perimeter fence that I've noticed recently. Looks like somebody's kind of come through and a creeper has blown it up, but I don't think anything should be getting in. I don't know, maybe we'll have to have a talk about that in our group chat. Not to worry for now. Let's carry on with this, and let's put this rotten flesh somewhere, because that's just going to be a distraction. Not that I don't have enough distractions already with making this build, but here we go. This is going to be a fun aspect of it, and I think I can probably put that down there for now. These two need to come out like this, and yeah, there's the sandstone from the desert that this environment is actually in. This whole section here in the recording booths, I know I said I was going to do the ceiling. I am going to do the ceiling. This section here in the recording booths is kind of carpeted with this grey wool, which I think looks pretty nice. And this section here is going to be like that. Reasons for the redstone torches will become apparent as we go. I don't know if... Oh, of course, there's a chest going there. I don't need to carpet that bit. This bit I will carpet. And that one I don't need to bother with because it's not going to be visible. So that's fine. Now, this is going to... Oh, it's not going to make me fall down as I go over it. That's nice of it. That one I'm going to cover with some jungle wood planks in a minute. Okay, I'll do the other recording booth as well. I may as well do this while I have the wall in my inventory. It's going to be exactly the same on this side, with this wall here. Like so. Hang on, that's not right. That needs to go. Oh, that's not right either. Have some stone. Cool, that needs to go there. Let's pop some more stone in here. That goes there. And wool. No, that is stone. I don't know why I thought that was wool. It's suitably grey, I suppose. This can go in here. This there. This there. Of course, chest was going to go there, wasn't it? So that's okay. We'll leave the grass block in there because we should have left one in there, really. So yeah, these are going to be the booths. The note block material, I've seen people use it as soundproofing. I think that's a really cool idea. It kind of looks like that soundproof material texture. It's a little bit clothy, and I know I said it looked like a doormat last time around, so I'm kind of mixing up my styles a little bit, but hopefully it will look kind of convincing when we've done a little bit more work. I'm going to turn the rest of this grey wool into carpet in a minute, but for now, let's do what I said I promised I was going to do, and continue with the ceiling. Can tuck that torch away there. One of the other problems with the ceiling here is that there needs to be an adequate amount of lighting in this area, which these glowstone blocks unfortunately don't provide. So I'm going to get this over the top of the receptionist's desk, which is going to lead to it being here. Now this is where I put that bush climbing up the outside. I don't want it there. I never said I wanted it there. Fazakali to the rescue. Glowstone block there, and trapdoor over the top like that. I wanted to be right in the middle there, but I don't have any other blocks to attach it to, and adding another slab to this ceiling makes it look kind of ugly, so I kind of avoided that, and instead what I did is come around here. Let's get rid of some of these vines. I'm kind of on the fence about the vines. I don't know if they look super great in retrospect, like the colour of them compared with those birch leaves is just a little bit too yellowy green because it's a desert and because they kind of change colour depending on the heat of the environment. Let's get rid of that one, and that looks cool. I think that can probably work fine. Getting a little bit of lag here and there. I don't know if that's just because I'm building or if it's something else that's causing that, but not to worry. Right, on with the... Oh, hello. That one startled me for a minute, and he's going to have to die as well because I apparently keep fighting zombie pigmen when I'm building this place. I think it's because we have 4 portals down there. It's kind of more likely to be spawning zombie pigmen as it was from than it would be from 1 portal. That's my guess anyway. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. Right here, I'm going to slab all of this over for now, but there's going to be like an extra shelf along the top of the recording booths here just to kind of let them blend in a little bit more with the rest of the build. I think pretty much everything else along here is just wood slabs, apart from at the end, which I'll deal with in a moment. There's going to be one there, of course. And yeah, hopefully we're not going to see anything spawning up in the roof here. I don't know if it's possible for anything to do that. When I built this in creative, I didn't turn off mobs or anything like that. I'm not entirely sure how you turn off passive mobs. I'm sure there's a command to do it, but I don't know what it is. And a bat somehow spawned inside, I think, one of these little redstone torch bits that I left, and it drove me crazy. It was squeaking the entire time. I tore up half the build to find it and put it out of my misery. And yeah, I was not enjoying the company of that bat. Sorry for all you bat lovers out there. I know there are a few of you. But that's the way it had to be. Unfortunately, it was squeaking way too much. Every time I look at the exterior of this build, it just makes me happy. I'm sorry if that seems kind of a little bit conceited or up myself or whatever, but I really like the way this build came out. I'm super happy with the way it went. You know what? Fazakali is going to have to help us out again, and yes, I will have that glowstone back, thank you. I totally meant to put the glowstone here because that's going to be covered up by that shelf of slabs. So we can pop one of those back in there and along here like that, and the trapdoor can go there, and that's still lighting the area nicely, which is great. I don't think we need any lighting around here. I think we're pretty much covered in terms of block light. Yeah, it's all looking around like 10, 11, which is more than enough for what we need. So lighting inside is done, ceiling is looking good. And let's check that the nether brick is all there. Great. Fantastic. Okay, so floor. I think the floor is probably going to be the next thing. And that's going to be, for the most part, this alternating pattern of jungle wood logs. And so I'm going to enlist the help of my handy diamond shovel to dig this up, because I don't want to be doing it all block by block. And thankfully this grass is only 1 block thick. So I don't need to worry about like tearing up the scenery like I am with my pickaxe right now. Although I am tearing up a little bit of the scenery. Oh, and I'm going to completely flood the place. Wonderful. We can start the pattern here like this. There we go. Lovely. This is going to have to go in a second, so I can do... Oh, hang on. That's not going to work, is it? One more try. One more try. Like that. Like that. And if I can walk into this sugarcane for a moment, like that. Yes, good. Okay, so water source contained. Everything is wonderful. And we can get rid of these torches finally. We'll keep the dirt under here. And in fact, I may need some more redstone torches because there are a couple of other neat touches under here. Although I think I can do that with levers. So that's not going to be a problem. So, alternating pattern of jungle logs, begin. You can go there. And I'm sure there is a quick way of doing this. I'm just not entirely sure what it is. I'm going to need the axe on my bar because I will make a lot of mistakes while I'm doing this. Like I keep doing. Got to attach it to the side of the block for it to work properly. Right. Like that. Not like that. Just placing too much stuff right now. Like so. So, how are you all? this is going to be a little bit tedious, so bear with me. I wanted to keep talking about building and that whole thing because, like I said, I really like the exterior of this building. And one of the reasons I like it is because it doesn't really look like a great deal of other stuff that gets built on this server. And I really wanted to avoid building something that looked like someone else's build, because I wanted to do something with the stairs and the pillars and having like a block that's got a variety of textures. I didn't want to build anything with wood or stone. And so quartz was pretty much the only alternative, because I considered sandstone for a while, but that is really like Logan's block, and I'm sure he won't really like have a monopoly on sandstone builds on this server, and I'm sure loads of people have built stuff with sandstone, but whenever I build anything with sandstone, it just reminds me instantly of the Carlisle or his real estate building. I mean, he built a desert temple at my base, which was obviously entirely sandstone. So it's got to be said that he definitely has built a lot of stuff with sandstone on the server. And that's no bad thing. Some of his builds are incredible. The Carlisle is great, and it's not like it's all he does, because one of my favourite builds on the server, I'm going to pause in this to actually go and show you. It's there in the distance. My render distance isn't really allowing for it to be shown too well in the video, but one of my favourite builds on the whole server is his office building, which he hasn't really done anything with other than apparently breed a ton of chickens in there. But that is one of my favourite builds. I love what he's done with the purple stained clay. It is purple. I know I called it blue in the last video. I don't know if any of you guys are pedants watching this, but if you are, I'm going to correct that now. Yeah, but he's done like a purple stained clay and the stone brick. It just looks incredible. Like, in a way, it almost reminds me of the Shredder from Ninja Turtles. and I think that's why I like it so much, because it's got that kind of purple and stone, like almost metallic look to it, which I really enjoy. I think it's really cool. So I've done that section wrong. Okay, this is the problem with doing this alternating pattern, is that I make one mistake and then I have to tear up the entire thing to build something else. Let's go with you there, and I would not worry about it too much, except for the fact that that's the only section that's not going to be carpeted. And I know you're kind of wondering, why are you not putting down some kind of crazy pattern of blocks if it's all going to be carpeted anyway? And I honestly don't know. I think it's just for my own peace of mind more than anything else. I didn't want to just leave dirt underneath here, but I also don't think anyone's going to be taking up the carpet anytime soon to take a look at what's underneath. So it's pretty much just pleasing myself at this point. Let's pop one in there, and I think that is pretty much done. If anyone spots anything, feel free to correct it, but that's me done. I'm not going to touch that any further. Going to pop in this hallway like this. Yeah, I'm sure there is a much faster way of doing this, but I don't know what it is right now, and it's probably something I'm going to learn as I keep building on this server. But yeah, like I was saying, I wanted to avoid building something that looked like other people's builds, and it's kind of true of chiseled stone brick and Jefferson as well, which is kind of weird. And again, I don't know if he will enjoy that as a comparison or not, but I put a bit of chiseled stone brick in when I was kind of feeling out how this build was going to go, and it instantly made me think, Jefferson built this, which obviously he didn't, because I have. So yeah, it was kind of confusing to me, I guess, but I'm sort of learning that there are definitely styles of building on this server, and I kind of want to develop my own thing a little bit. I'm not sure if that's what I'm doing right now, but yeah, this is definitely a kind of build that I haven't seen on this server quite done this way yet. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it's coming together really, really well. But I don't really want to be the quartz guy as well. I think that's kind of a weird precedent to set, and it's going to be a lot of work for me going back and forth in the nether, getting all the quartz. Quartz is kind of expensive, and it's fun to collect at times, but it's also incredibly nerve-wracking, so I try not to let that get to me too much. I also don't want to be the mushroom guy either, and I've obviously embraced the whole mushroom building thing for my base. I think that's cool, but I don't want to include it in every build I put in at spawn or anywhere else on the server I happen to build stuff. So, yeah, this build is not going to contain any mushroom blocks, at least as it currently stands, which may be a shock to some of you. Do not be alarmed. Do not adjust your set. This is still Pixlriffs talking. But, yeah, we're going to avoid mushroom for this build in particular. I'm going to put in some chests now while I think of it, and it's going to be one per side, and they're each pretty much going to contain a split of the records. I have other plans for the records as well that don't necessarily include playing them. We'll get to those in a second. Now that's going to go on top of there, like so. And I haven't explained the redstone torches yet, so I may as well do that now. Now, if I place the door here, it's going to go there. Good, okay. And if I place it here, likewise. The redstone torches basically do the job of keeping this door shut. They override this lever when it comes to opening the door. So you can turn on the on-air light for these booths and the doors don't automatically open. That's what the redstone torches underneath these two blocks are doing. And I think I'm happy with the doors sitting slightly outside like that in the hallway. I think I'm just going to have to deal with that as it is. I like them being flush inside the booths and opening outwards. That's kind of the ideal right now, so that's how it's going to be. We'll pop that on, and I think we're good there. I think those two are covered. Fantastic. As for the last redstone torch, you will see. You will see. Do not panic. Everything is fine. Now, we'll get some carpet in, and I think I'll do the reception desk now because I've wanted to do this for a little bit. You'll notice we have banners as well. Exciting. I love designing banners. That's probably another aspect of my being detail-oriented in my builds, is that banners just make me happy. And I don't want to start up a banner design service as such on the server because I don't really want to kind of step on B-Ran's toes when it comes to that. He's had the banner design business and it's more kind of consultation, I guess, because a lot of people design their own banners and fair play to them. I think they do a really great job, and some of the banners on this server are really cool. If they're not like symbolically representative of like a person's build style or whatever, then they are clearly representative of that person, especially as you get more used to it. Like the T for Trevor in Clandlewood stuff, and obviously the big K for Kane, but Royal Caning to Spa being his build. Ovi's looks like the kind of robot eye, so he's obviously got a theme to his stuff, and yeah, some of the stuff they've done with the banners is great, and I know Paige's new banner looks really cool as well. Let's pop in this carpet around here. It's pretty much just going to be one layer of carpet here. I have something planned to build here. In fact, I can pop this in now, I think, and we're going to modify that slightly in a second. This section of the hallway I don't have any plans for right now, but watch this space because there is something else coming here, and I'm not going to tell you what it is at the present time. I think leaving this 4 wide is kind of good for an entryway, and then it kind of slims down to 2 wide here when you're coming up to the booths. And again, there's going to be something else going on this side. Now, can I get the stairs to do what they did in my creative build? Because I had a really great way of putting the stairs that I don't know if it's going to work out. See, this is going to be irksome now. If I put it there and then there, yes, got it. Okay, cool. There is like a specific way of placing these that makes it work out in my favour. I basically wanted it to look like that either side, so the hallway doesn't look quite so plain and square. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to get another set of stairs for that. Thankfully, I still have a few left over. That's not going to work out. Try again. Brilliant. There it is. Cool. Okay, so this is really coming together now. I've got quite a lot of stuff done. I realise that I'm running ahead a little bit on time, but that's not to worry. I will try and finish this off soon. Now, iron trapdoors. We need levers. Do we still have... We've got 4 levers. I'm not sure what the other 2 are for, but we can deal with it now. This one's going under here, like so. And how did I have this done? I think I need to get rid of that one. And then iron trapdoor here. No, wasn't that way. Okay, I'm going to have to look into this, I think. You can go back there. Does it work if we do this? It does, okay. What did I do here then? That is a concern. Okay, I will have to see how I did this, because I'm fairly certain it should work one way or the other. Did I have the lever under here, maybe? And then put the carpet on top? That's a possibility, I guess. No, apparently it's not a possibility. Okay. So if I put it on here, like that, it works because it's underneath the trapdoor. That's why it works. Okie dokie. See, this may be a detail I have to work out after the fact, so I won't spend any more of this video doing that. We'll pop the carpet back in and move on. But yeah, basically this is going to have arms either side that are iron trapdoors when I figure out how on earth I did it in the original build. What was I doing next? I've kind of derailed myself here. I've done the countertop. I've got the bench put in. I can put those away for now. Let's do a little bit more work on the booths. I've got orange and blue glass for either side. I think the orange one was on the left hand side and the blue one was here on the right. Like this. And if you're wondering why there are 2 doors, it's for soundproofing reasons. They usually have like a vacuum kind of sealed door in recording studio situations. I don't know if they have them in radio, I assume they do. But that kind of seals in the air and prevents like sound from leaking out too far. I need to eat something. I've just adjusted the note blocks. Oh, that's not going to be good. That's going to annoy me. Not to worry. Where did I put those stairs? Did I put them back in the chest already? I should not have done that. Chairs. We need one of those for the reception. And then we can crack on with the banner. I'm rushing now. I really shouldn't be rushing. If you guys want to watch this video, you absolutely can. So let's scale it back a little bit. Let's relax. Cool. We've got the reception desk in. Now what we want next, I think, is the DJ booths. I'm going to leave these doors open for now, I think. So what happens here is we have nether brick stairs there, not like that though. That's going to be a problem. Let's put them like that just so I can place it in the first place. So you're still going to be able to access the chest underneath there. That's cool. And then this nether brick panel here, nether brick block rather, and a piece of powered rail like so. And that's going to be the DJ's mixing desk. And that's always going to be turned on thanks to the redstone torch down there, which is going to be great because when we pop a lever down here, this is going to be the DJ's microphone. And thankfully the lever actually faces that way because when I built this in creative, I'm not sure what direction I was facing, but I had to turn half the build around because it wouldn't face in the right direction. Same can go over here. powered rail on like that. There we go, cool. So it doesn't turn off that, it doesn't affect anything else at all here. You may have noticed earlier I didn't really talk about it as I was doing it, but I tucked jukeboxes into the walls here. So if we want to now, we can put the records on. We can pop them in the chests so the DJs can select their records. I'm going to have to spread these out a little bit for now. But ideally what I want... Oh, took a little bit of lag to get through that door. What I want is for people to just be able to reach into this, select the record they want, in this case Cat, because I really like that one, and then you can just pop it in the jukebox and you don't even know it's there. And thankfully jukeboxes still play, even if they're surrounded by stuff, which note blocks don't. So yeah, you won't be able to play any of these note blocks by clicking on them. I really can't say note blocks. That's that seems to be one of my my speech impediments. I was taking the mickey out of everybody for not being able to say mellow high last time, so I think that's probably my comeuppance. Yeah, I haven't worked any more on the record collection since the last video, but I'm going to do that. I've got a music disc farm set up at my base, so you might see that in a future episode, I don't know. But yeah, there we go. We can have all of those in there. I'm actually going to keep a couple of the 13s back, and may as well keep a Cat as well, but the 13s, maybe just one for now. We'll deal with that later, but they're going to go up in frames elsewhere in this build. So, next up, I think we can finish off the DJ booths and then we'll be able to get on with other things. I've still got the trapdoors with me, which is great, and you're kind of wondering, why are there ender pearls and ender eyes in this build? Excellent question. I will now reveal to you the answer. They're going up on here, when I can place the item frames. And the fantastic thing about item frames is that they stay there as entities regardless of any other things being placed next to them. So thankfully I can put in stuff like this even when that lever is right there, which is wonderful. In terms of detail, absolutely everything I want. And check that out, that is a complete DJ booth, and they're kind of meant to be like speaker looking things, but they could just as easily be, you know, dials that you rotate to turn up the volume or adjust equalization or something like that. And these are going to go in here in pretty much the same formation. On there like so. And the difference between the ender eyes and the ender pearls is just so that the top one kind of looks like the smaller patch in the speaker where the tweeter speaker usually goes. And the ender pearls are kind of just the round kind of woofer speakers towards the bottom. So I think that's it for the booths. I think that's everything the booths contain. And so yeah, if you fancy doing a DJ set while you're on the server, you can walk in here, flick the on lamp, walk behind the desk, choose your record, play it, even pop into third person. Hi, this is DJ Pixlriffs welcoming you to Decidedly Vanilla Radio. We're going to play you some tunes. That's enough for now. Okay. Thank you, Cat. I'll have that back. Hopefully, gonna put a shovel in there apparently. Hopefully that doesn't end up jumping through the wall or something like that. I haven't really figured out quite what the deal is with music discs. They're kind of like paintings. They will just pop out and leave you for dead. What else do I need to do with this build? I think the majority of it is done at this point, which is nice. Let's see what else I had in the chest for a little bit of help. Yes, banner time. This is going to be good. I'm going to pop this stuff away for now, just so I have a nice clear inventory for this, because banner stuff always takes up a bit of space. Yeah, we'll put the records in frames up later. So what we need is all of this stuff I've left up here at the top. This is going to break all of my rules when it comes to creating banners. I pretty much don't do some of this stuff normally. Is that not right? I think it goes up here like so. Yeah, this is one of those things where if you put a black, say like a black layer down, and then you put a white layer over the top of it, it creates this weird kind of pinstripe look. Like it creates this almost grey but not grey kind of effect, and you can't get an effect like that just by using grey dye. It has to be black over and then white over the top of that, which kind of irritates me. But I think this is how we do it. Pop that down there. Yeah, that's looking good. And the last thing we want to put on here, we want to put one of those, and then Oxeye Daisy in black, which I don't even need the ink for that time around, and then Oxeye Daisy in white. And what you end up with is a banner that looks like that. And with the quartz and with the purple, that is going to be the banner of DV Radio. I tried making something that looked a little bit more like a radio thing. Didn't work. I had absolutely no ideas. I tried making music notes. They just didn't look right. They were kind of weird and off-center. I tried making something that looked like a microphone. Again, looked a little bit naff. But this, blending in with the rest of the build, I think looks really cool. So I can be incredibly happy about that. I think we are done here for the day. I think that's pretty much all, looking at my notes here, that I had, that I wanted to put into the build, with the exception of those trapdoors, which I will figure out off camera. But we cleared up the glowstone around the back, didn't we? Yes, good, okay. This has been a really long one, and I apologise for that, but I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm going to have to do a serious clear out of some of the stuff in the interior chest here, but we will return to this building because a radio station is not going to be all. I'm planning on making something else in the basement of this building, but for now it doesn't have a basement, so that will have to wait, and it will probably wait for a little while I get into creative and figure out what I'm going to do. But for now, let's head into this booth to do our outro. Pop on a record, I'm sure they won't mind. Let's listen to Mellow High. Oh yeah, that smooth feel. Let's get rid of the armor as well. From Decidedly Vanilla, from the heart of Spawn, from Circle Square, this has been Pixlriffs.